Hi guys, I'm Blackie and welcome back to my channel. Okay, today I'd like to talk about a variation of a knot we already know. I was up at the Georgia Bushcraft event and a good friend of mine, she was showing me a knot that she was playing around with. And I'm playing with that knot yet, and if I can dial it in where I can tie it easily, quickly, and efficiently, and I'll share that with you. But while watching her tie this knot, a little light bulb went on in my head for this. Now this is a variation of a knot you already know, but let me explain. A bushcraft zip tie, which is a Canadian jam knot. And all it is a length of cord, and I'm going to use bright pink so you can see it easy. You tie a knot, this is called the key knot, and then you tie a separate knot right there. And then on the other end of the cord, you simply tie another knot as a stop knot. Now to tie a bushcraft zip tie, you hold it in your hand, go around your finger like that, and then take the two knots and go through that loop, just like that. That forms that loop. Cinch it down close. Now you take the other end and you push it through so that the knots end up side and side. So I push it through this way. You can see how the knots are both coming through and they end up on the same side. Okay. If you push it through backwards, like this, where the knots are on opposite sides, it does not hold as well. Okay. We want them on the same direction. Okay. Now you just cinch that up kind of snug, and then you're going to pull this tight, and when it does, this is going to slide down until this knot, which is the locking knot, binds into that down there, and you have locked it into position, just like that. See, that knot comes down, it can't be pulled through the loop. This end is under tension, and therefore, so if I pull this tight, it pulls tighter. To loosen it, you grab the key knot up here and pull it, and that will pull that knot out and allow it to slip. Same old knot we've ever seen, right? The problem with it is let's say I'm going to use this to hold cargo onto a pack, and I do it like this. Well, when I pull it slack, I can pull it out, but to get it off, I got to sit here and pick that knot apart to get it off, because this knot won't go through that, and it's a loop no matter what I do, right? Well, let me show you the variation that I've come up with. Okay? We're going to do the same thing, but now, go around the finger, go back through that loop, but instead of taking this end and going through, we're going to make a loop. Okay? And we're going to take that loop and go through. Now once we get that loop through there, we're going to pull this down tight, just like before. And then here on this loop, one side goes to the main body, and the other side goes to that free tag end, right? So now I'm going to take it and pull it tight, and when it cinches up tight, and I'm going to show this in demonstration in a second. Now I can do just like before. I can grab the key knot and slack it and open up the loop to pull whatever in and out. But if I want this to come completely off, all I got to do is grab that free tag end and pull. And when I do, it's going to go pop, and it's going to fall all the way off. And let me show you this by hooking something like a bedroll or something to the bottom of my Nighthawk rucksack. And I'll show you where this is an advantage. Okay, I've ran my cord through the loops on the bottom of my rucksack. And I want to take this beaver fur, I want to secure it to the bottom. I'm going to roll it down tight. In fact, I'm going to double it in half. And thank you to Trapper Dan for the beaver fur. Trapper Dan is my friend up north. He was a good friend of mine and Dan Lutz, and he's a master trapper. So I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to take the end of my line and do just like we talked about. Go around the finger, push through, and then on this free end, I'm just going to double it around my finger and make a loop. I'm going to stick that loop in there. I'm going to cinch it up tight around that loop. I'm going to pull the end that cinches it up, leaving the tag end sitting there. Now, I'm going to take and grab the line and pull it to make that tighter. I'm going to pull it up good and tight, just like that. Now that is cinched up, just like that. Okay. Now, to loosen it, all I got to do is just grab the key knot and pull, and it'll come right off just like before. But I can also pull it tight and lock it like that. And if I want it to come completely off, I just grab this, and I can scoot that down lower, just like that. I can even take that key knot and stick it through there, kind of like a lock. Okay? Alright, now, I want to take it completely off. All I got to do is grab that loop, and the whole thing pops free, just like that. So, it's a variation of the Canadian jam knot. A quick detach Canadian jam knot where I can just pull and pop and it comes right off. And I don't have to sit and pick that up. Now it's still going to put that, leave that knot, you know, that one you tie around your finger is still there. But now I ain't got to take it apart, take it off the tree, or take it off of the pack. I can just peep, peep, and take it off very simply. And usually once I get it out of there, it's fairly easy to pick it apart like that. So, again, to tie this, you tie your key knot, you tie your lock knot. And I like to, for the lock knot, put two knots, one on top of the other. I want something big and bulky to slide down there, and that's what slides down and locks in to keep this from sliding around. So, application. With just a standard Bushcraft zip tie, Canadian jam knot, I have a length of cord pre-set up that I can run around 3 sticks, pull tight, and I've got a tripod for hanging a pot off of. I can lash gear together right quick. I can attach gear to my pack, or I can lash ridge poles in place and things like that. Something that I want to reclaim the cordage, you know. I'm not leaving this here permanent, so I want my reclaimable cordage. Having now added that quick detach feature of putting that loop through there, where I pull it all nice and blood tight and it'll hold, but I can go, and it just completely lets go. We'll have applications like you just saw me put a bedroll or something to the bottom of my haversack. If it's a situation where I want these straps to stay here so I can slack it, take it out, and still have the loops for quick, a standard zip tie would work fine. But if this is going to be a temporary and then it's not going to be staying here at all, I'm just carrying this from A to B and I'm taking it off and I'm done with it, I could go that loop, pop, and pull the cord right off and not have to sit there and pick apart the knot right then. That to me is an advantage. So we'll call the loop one the quick detach zip tie, and the other one the standard zip tie, Bushcraft zip tie. So if it's got the loop, it's the quick detach. If it's not, it's just a Bushcraft zip tie. Hope this gives you some ideas. Experiment with it. See what you can come up with. When my friend, she showed me that knot that I'm now learning and experimenting with, that gave me the inspiration for this. hopefully this will give you some inspiration and you will come up with something new and interesting with it. I hope to see it soon in a video by you. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.